Hey, what's up? So I'm gonna do a book review on the Upanishads. And I've actually heard Indian people call it the Upanishads. So you tell me uh, what you think is going on. But yeah, I call it the Upanishads. And it's a ancient Hindu text, and it's a sacred text. So like in Christianity, you have like the Bible, and this isn't like the Bible. This is what's interesting is that, well, it's kind of like, how the Bible has like 1,000 little books inside of it. This would be one of the many sacred texts of the Hindu religion. So this book is about the god Yama. And Yama is the god of, so I haven't, all right, let me be real with you. I finished this book like 10 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago. So I'm kind of like forgetting a little bit. I'm just kind of doing an off the cuff book review. So sorry about that. So I hope I get all my information right. But anyway, Yama is the god of death, right? And so there's this boy who has died, and he wants to know like all the secrets. He wants to know, he wants to have all the knowledge, right? The god of Yama is like, no, don't do that. You don't want all the knowledge. You want to stay ignorant. You want to stay, go ahead and have all the riches in the world. Go ahead and like live that earthly lifestyle. And, you can't handle what all the knowledge or what, what's really going on, And then he talks about knowledge. Then he talks about it. He talks about a lot of great things. Actually, let me read this real quick. A doctrine on Hindu thought and culture, and perhaps the most important literature from ancient India. The Upanishads, or the Upanishads, expound on principles like samsara, Brahman, Atman, Karma, Dharma, Moksha, and forms the core of Indian philosophies. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the god of Yama, and he's a very, very righteous person. What got me into it is, first of all, it's just it's very spiritual and it's very lovely. I remember like when I first read it, I picked it up randomly because I bought it, and then I put it down for a little bit, but then I picked it up randomly, and I just felt so good. Like the kind of feeling you get on a Sunday, the kind of feeling you get after when you're in church and you're kind of feeling the Holy Spirit. So that's actually the feeling I got when I first read these first couple of pages, and I was like, oh snap, this is like that type of book. This is an actual like religious, spiritual text. And me, I'm a Vedic astrologer personally, so they associate God of Yama, Yama, the god of death, with Bharani Nakshatra, which is a star in Aries, and that's on the stomach, I believe, like on the stomach of the ram, and yeah. So like I said, they talk about samsara, which I'm not too familiar with. Brahman is well, Brahma is a god of creation. He's like the big three. Atman, that's your soul, right? So like in Jyotisha, like the astrology that I study, the Atmakarka, it would be the soul significator, which means like the kind of like one of the themes of your soul, right? So actually, just a side note, if you want to know your Atmakarka, you would go to the planet, you would look up your birth chart in a Vedic astrology calculator, and you would look at for the planet that has the highest degrees. And the qualities of that planet tell you a lot about the themes in your life. Karma, which we all know what karma is just a simple reaction to the action, right? And not just what that means on earth, but what that means in your entire soul's path, your entire life plan. Why you're coming down, for what reason are you incarnating, Dharma, which is like righteousness. Dharma is like your destiny, what you're here to do. Dharma is it's really just having a strict code and really sticking to your purpose, being purposeful. And that's why things that are considered adharmic is things that are breaking taboos and it can be seen as harsh or cruel or punishing or negative, and stuff like that. So that ties in with the tamasic guna, but that's a whole different thing. And so then they talk about moksha. Moksha is liberation. That's why in the zodiac, Pisces is what the highest point of moksha, because that's like the last sign before you go revolve back to Aries. So that's a big, like, symbolically, like, that's why that Pisces constellation has a lot to do with moksha, because moksha is liberation from worldly suffering. So yeah, he talks about all that and more, and it's a really great. It's what it is. It's a dialogue. That's what it is. It's a dialogue, and it's just a supreme being and a child, like an earthling kid, and they're just talking about philosophy and the way to be in life. I believe they also mention the Bordeaux, which is like a kind of afterlife, and you read about that a lot more in the Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which that book is also tied to Bharani Nakshatra, which is that star in the stomach of Aries, the ram. So interesting. Yeah, that's it. It's a very short read, but it's so powerful. It's so ironic how short the read is, but it's just timeless. Okay, the Upanishads.